So now I want to take a ride to the field. Oops. Now I want to take a ride to the field. Slowly, slowly. Slide kun. Chop ma. So here we go through the village. And down here we want to turn to the field. To the road down to the fields. It's a trip of 3.5 kilometers. Or a couple of kilometers. Oi, come on. Around the corner. It's not easy with a wagon behind. But when you look upon the fields around us on the way down, you can see how dry it looks like. It looks very, very dry. Even though they have planted some things. But to be able to grow those things, they need a lot of water. And since everything looks dry, the soil does not have any natural water, because it's like it runs straight through and then disappears. And then the soil, after water has gone through the field, through the soil becomes very, very hard. Now we are coming down to the next turn, and after this there is one more turn. So here we come down to the public water in this area. There is some public water to the other side too, the other side of the village. But when you see everything here, this season, it does look a bit more dry than it was before. Put it wrong way, huh? It's so dry. Only the wheat can grow. And in many places, not even the wheat can do anything. I have to be very careful because there's a lot of bumps on the way, as you can see from the moving camera. And I put up the camera in the wrong way because I cannot turn the camera to be a bit more down. Here is the last corner. Of course I could do this, so I forgot about that. Like this. No, it's not that. That's how it was before. Like this. Because now I can tip the camera because of the darkness I cannot see the monitor, so I cannot follow on the monitor. Now we drive down towards our field, and in a moment you will be able to see the solar panels from here where we are driving. And when you look upon the soil, it's very dry. There are some grasses that they were able to plant while it was still wet. Those things are still growing. And here we have our field. I need to stop the motorbike to show you. Here we have inside the barbed wire, inside the pillars, inside the fence, we have our solar panels. And I need to get over to it because there's a lot of things that I need to change inside. Here you have our panels. It's not easy to stop the speed of the motorbike. And over here you have the neighbors opposite our field. And that looks dry too, very dry. So I'm saying to my wife, to Na Leung, that as I can see, everything will be more dry this year, so that people will be missing out on food for the buffaloes and for the cow. Once again we have to crawl into our area because I make the fencing so heavy. And here you see that I have some very good grass, very tall for our cows. And we were so proud of it until the neighbor had his baby buffaloes trespassing and eating off all our grasses. So we don't have anything left for our cows. Then when you look here along, you can see that we put up our water system. And here you can see how it was broken. Presumably this was broken by the people who chopped down our trees, because you can see we have almost no trees left. And here you can see that I put up the tap to have the water to flow into our fields. And as you can see, it's not completely in the middle of things, but it's very close to the middle. Because I thought that when I put it up in the middle, it will be very good and this season, after planting the rice, We did not have any rain as we should have, so it came late season for the rice, and that became a big problem. But when you look upon the pipeline that we have put here, you can see that it is hanging, because I wanted to keep it away from the cows. And here you can see how the water has broken out. I don't know why, it looks like that. When the pipeline is lying on top of the soil, it's not a problem. But as you will see along the way, we could not keep it on top of the soil, so it was kind of hanging by itself. And this is the story about the pipeline. Our water system that we have drilled out of the soil and put in here. And you can see here in the middle, it is kind of hanging down because the water pressure, the water weight, the weight of the water inside the pipes are pulling down the pipes when there is nothing that covers them. And down here you have, up here it's not a problem because it's kind of lying on top of the soil, as I said before. But when we get down here again, all of a sudden the pipeline begins to hang again, hang down. And here, as you can see, which is again the tap or the valve, and over here you have the dike, and over there you have the dike. So in between the dike, almost in the middle, you have a valve that will release water into the field. But the problem is, when we are growing rice in the field and we want to release water into the field, we have to walk into the rice to move the hose. And that is why I want to change how I do with the water system. First of all, I want to put the water system in such a way that it is on top of the soil. The reason that we did this, put the pipeline high, and here you have how the water overflow from the neighbor is bringing water into our fields, and that is not a good thing, because they don't use ecological farming. They are using fertilizer that are chemical fertilizer, very bad. And you can see here, up here, the pipeline over here is kind of taller, whereas here it is very low. So the pipeline seems to be hanging a lot in many places. So what I need to do is to redo the whole pipeline system, to put it further down, so that if I dig a trench near the dike to the road, like here, then the pipeline would have soil that I put up for the pipeline to rest upon that soil.